Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout using the Marks & Company Studio Calico kit. I'm showing you some of the things I might be using. I took out a Scraptastic stamp, a Unity stamp set. That was a part of the Fancy Pants pattern paper, which I don't end up using. Again, I'm just going to use one sheet of pattern paper, and it is from the Amy Tangerine Cut and Paste collection. And it's the backside of that ray of sunshine that I've already used on two different layouts. I had cut out the circle and did a layout with that, and then the outside I did another layout with that. And now I'm just going to flip it over and use this grid-like pattern paper, and I'm going to build my layout on that. And these are pictures of the New York Public Library, and we hadn't planned on going there at all. We just needed one of us needed to go to the bathroom really bad, and then we started hunting for somewhere to go, and then we walked up on the library. So we went in, and then we ended up spending like almost an hour in there because it was just so beautiful. So it was just sort of an accident that we ended up there, but we absolutely loved it. It was so the work on the inside of the building was unbelievable. So the left bottom picture is just the detail work that is in that's just like a doorway. And anyway, there was another place where they had pieces of Legos that were built like into lions and like to look like the lions that are outside, and it was just, we really enjoyed it. And so I just cut down, there was two places on the layout that were kind of designated for photos, so I cut them down. Oh, and I guess I did use some of the other pattern papers. I use that Tim and Beck paper that I used on the last layout that I really didn't like, and but ended up liking it at the end. And this is the back side of it. It's like a gray. So I'm going to mount my photo on that. And I just put a very small border all around it. I ended up ripping some of it, but you can't really tell when it's down on the page anyway, so I didn't worry about that. So I'm going to glue the pictures down right away because I know that's where they're going to be. And basically my layering is going to be in all the other little squares. So this Unity stamp set, it's a whole bunch of little cameras, and it's like a background stamp, and I really liked it, and I don't think I've ever used it yet. So I got it a few months ago, and I thought some of these squares would be nice to fill up with some of these cameras, as a stamp area. So I took my charcoal ink from Hero Arts. I laid down some wax paper on either side of where I don't want it to stamp, acting like a mask. And I was going to put a piece of washi tape right there above the cameras to kind of go with the camera theme. And I don't know if I'm going to do it right away, but I'm going to stamp just above it again. I guess I'm going to do the, excuse me, the top left corner first, and then I'll come back to the bottom. So again, I'm using the wax paper as a mask so that I don't end up stamping on the squares that are beside it. And I'm going to re-ink it, and I'm just going to stamp above it so it looks like it's one continuous stamp. And I'm not quite sure where I went off to. But while I'm doing that, this is the 11th layout using this kit, and it took me an hour and 34 minutes to complete. And I have, I guess you could say, some lofty goals for my last few days off before I go back to my regular routine. I worked last night, and I work Friday from 8 to 4. But the rest of the, 5 days I have off. And what I'd love to do is, I like to get 20 layouts at least done for a kit. So I'd like to get 9 more layouts done by the time I go to work on Monday morning. So that's basically 2 layouts a day except one on Friday, which makes sense because I work on Friday. So let's see how close I get to my, it's not set in stone, but that's what I'm going to try for. And then that way next week I can start with a brand new kit, and I'm looking forward to that. And also, while I finish the stamping, I said that I was going to answer some questions. The first one is, and I hope that I don't butcher the names really bad. Mickey McGeehee. She says, I'm dying to know, and perhaps I missed it. Have you decided if you're going to continue with getting the Studio Calico kits? And I'm still on the fence. And it's not that I don't like them or anything like that. It's just that I'm far behind. Like, this is August, and I just got January this morning. So it wouldn't be like forever. It would just be so that I can get caught up. Plus, so I'm not going to stop using the Studio Calico kit. It's just so that I can get caught up and I don't end up with like 12 kits sitting there and not used. Because, the purpose of this is to get them used up. And I also started Scraptastic, so I want to, get those used up. And then the mystery kit, that came in too, so I'm going to do a video today of that too. So I don't want too many kits sitting there. So before I go on to the next question, I took out that template, and I'm going to use that template again from Amy Tangerine. And I'm taking out some of those chalkboard frames, and from My Mind's Eye, I believe, and from the collection Chalkboard, I believe it's called. And I'm going to try to use a couple of those on this layout. And I'm going to use my favorite washi tape from Alison Kreft Webster's page, and it's getting to, I don't have a lot left. Like, that's going to be the first time that I actually completely finish off a roll of washi tape. Like, it's going to be gone. I have about 3 rolls that are almost gone. This is probably the one that's the closest to being gone. And so it's going to be a sad day, but I did find some other ones that with cameras that I liked. But anyway, I don't want to hog it, so I want to make sure that I use it up. So I'm going to punch out the holes, and I'm not going to do the stitching on camera because it's really boring. But I'm going to do the love part in yellow, and then I'm also going to do that arrow on that template, and I'm going to do it in yellow and gray. Now, the next question is from Leanne Williams, and she asked, where do you buy the Slick Writer pens? Well, the ones that I did a couple of hauls ago, the Staedtler ones, if that's the ones you mean, I got those at Staples, but they're not Slick Writers, but they're awesome for journaling. And then the other, they weren't Slick Writers, they were Market. I got those at Staples also, and I got like 24 for $6, and they write on glass, photos, everything. It says right on it, great for scrapbooking. And then I also got some Slick Writers from Simon Says Stamps, and those are from American Crafts, and these say Slick Writer on it. But they all, except for the Staedtler, they all do the same thing. So I hope that helps. Now I'm working on my title. And like I said, I did the stitching off camera, and I did it while I watched a show. And I took out some Tim Holtz, the mini letters, and then these here are Amy Tangerine, and they're rubber letters, and I absolutely love them. And then I also took out some mini markets. They are called, right here in front of me, Gray and Cream. So I want to use, basically I used 4 different fonts for my title. So the title is just Love, New York Public Library. So Love is sort of by itself, and then New York public library. And now I'm just going to start, keep going with trying to fix where the title is going to go. And now I'm going to start thinking about what kind of embellishments I can put on this layout. And then this is not a question, but Janet, and she always leaves me some awesome comments. Anyway, the last video, she apologized for writing a ton, and I just want to tell you, no worries. I love reading your comments, and I'd probably be disappointed if it was just one line, because I love your comments. You always share so much, and yes, I do feel like you guys are my scrapping buddies too, so I love that. And I was even thinking it'd be kind of cool if there was a way that we could like virtual scrap somehow. So I think that would be really cool. That's one of the things that I love the most about YouTube, is that there's people from everywhere in the world. You can connect with everyone in the world, and I love that. So now I want to put some hearts from pink paisley, and you can change the color of those, and they're sort of look distressed, and they have a resist pattern on them, and they look really cool. And then I want to put some more of that washi tape that looks like film strip, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of the photo, and I'm going to put it one more spot on the layout so that I have it in 3 spots. Now another comment was Celine, from Celine Scrap Passion. And Celine, I just saw your comment because I thought it was weird that I hadn't seen your comment, so I went and looked on my phone in my inbox, and then for some reason I thought of looking in the junk, and I found over 100 comments that were sitting in there. So for some reason a lot of the comments are going in the junk, which is awful. But anyway, I went and I read all the comments in there, and so she had challenged me to use the twine in a different way, and then she said something to the effect like, because I said on that video that Glitter Girl, Shamel Lane, had talked about twine and different ways to use it, and she put Celine put, maybe she looked at your video and saw the twine challenge, and I thought, wouldn't that be something? I would be totally starstruck if she left a comment on one of my videos, because I love Shamel Lane. And I just want to thank everyone that left comments when I asked if they knew of anyone else that did process videos, because I love watching them. But you want to hear what's funny? I would say 99% of the names that you put down I already watch. And I thought that was funny that we seem to be watching the same people. So I thought another thing that I might do, and what I'm going to do is every video, until I run out of obviously names, I'm going to give a shout out to other people that are doing process videos, because I'm not sure that everyone saw all the comments. And if I had a blog, I would compile a list, but I don't have a blog, so I'll just do it on the videos, and I'll try to put a link to and I'll say try, because I'm not sure if I've never done it, but I think I should be able to do it, to their videos. So before I do the 5 names for today, I want to do something different. So I took out these bottle cap ink images, and they're 1-inch images. They're 65 in a package, and they're basically just printed on cardstock, and you punch them out with a 1-inch punch, and then you put them inside a bottle cap. And the bottle caps, I got them on Etsy, and I'll put her link down below too. And you can get 100 for like $6, and then the one that are already crunched or flattened, I think they were like $7.14 for 100. And depending where you live, well, then the shipping is different. But then if you look on something like Simon Says Stamps, and like even from Bottle Cap Ink, you get a package of you know, maybe 20 for $5 or $6. So here you get 100. And how I might do a small video on how to flatten them. I mean, it would only be like a 2 or 3 minute video, just to show you how you flatten them out. So I took one of those chalkboard frames and I cut them in half, and I put at the top left and the bottom right of the layout. And then I showed you that once you put that liner in, you take glossy accent and you fill it. And then I had two that were done, and it looks like it's, you know, got an enamel cover on it, or cap or whatever, and it's really pretty. I really love that it's basically you make your own embellishment, and it's really cute. And then you can punch whatever image you want also, and you put it inside the bottle cap, like anything that any digital print that you like, you can punch it out a 1-inch circle and you put it inside the bottle cap. Now I took the Butterbar Hero Arts ink and I inked up these pink paisley hearts, and they have an embossing on them, so it's like a resist. So what I'm doing right now is I have a paper towel and I'm taking some of the ink away so that it looks like yellow and white. And now I'm going to work on my title, and I had used, and I've had to do the recording a few times, so I don't know if it got erased, so I'll just say again, Amy Tangerine, October Afternoon rubber letters, those right there, and then the little black and white ones are from Tim Holtz, tiny letters, and then the gray ones are from October Afternoon Mini Market, and they're called Gray and Cream. And now to get back to the shout out. So today I'm going to do 5 people. And the first one is Shamel Lane, of course, and she has her own videos. And of course, then she is also Glitter Girl on 2 Peas and a Bucket. And there's Mercy Tierra, and she's Tracy, and she's here on YouTube. And then there's Lena Witzner. And what's funny is that I gave her a shout out last time because I love her videos, and I was so excited she left a message on my YouTube and said that she watched my video. So again, totally starstruck. I was so surprised that I had no idea. And also Giddy for Scrapbooking, love her videos, and Maggie Milo. So those are the first 5 that I'll mention. And again, just so that there's somewhere that people can, you know, if you love watching process videos, it's nice that we kind of support each other and, you know, just mention other people that are doing process videos, and they're fun to watch, and just the inspiration that you get from all these videos. And, you know, I look at them as, you know, they're all my scrap buddies, because I put one of those videos on, and that's when I do my process videos. I have one of you on, and I'm scrapbooking, and that's why I like the voiceover videos better than the music one, because I'm actually doing something else. I'm not just watching the computer, so I'm listening, and then I keep just kind of glancing. So I love that. So now I'm going to put some Scotch quick dry adhesive, and I did have a question, and it's not one of the questions that I wrote down, but I might as well answer it. She asked what was the glue that I used and that it didn't make it as shiny for the twine, and it was this Scotch quick dry adhesive, and I got this at Michael's, and it comes in a 2-ounce or a 4-ounce bottle. I found online, like at Simon Says Stamp, I only found the 2-ounce bottle, and it's the same price as the, you know, when you use your coupon at Michael's, it's the same price. So I'd rather go to Michael's and, you know, save a bit of money. So now I'm just kind of fussing with, you know, where those bottle caps are going to go. I'm trying to figure out, because it's kind of hard to do layers on this layout because the pattern papers are all like flat. So basically the only place I did layers was on top of those frames. And then I just took out those little yellow arrows that we got in this month's kit. And now I had said that I was going to put up a video using enamel dots, and it should be up by the time that this video is uploaded, because I finally finished it. What happens is, because I did it in 2 parts, then I have to upload it to my iMovie. I have to process it again so that it's one video, and it takes double the time that when it's just live. And that's why these videos take a little longer to upload, because I have to upload each segment of the video to iMovie, make it into one video, do the, condense it, take out what I don't want, which I don't do too much of, because then it would take too long. But sometimes if I walk away for 5 minutes, I'll just cut that out. Or like the stitching, what I did was I just ended up turning off the video camera. And then once you do the voiceover, then you have to process the video again so that it's easier to upload to YouTube. So I chose one of the stamps that came in this month's kit, and it just says play. And the reason that I want to stamp that on this layout is because this did not feel like a library. We had fun in there, and it felt more like it was a play activity. It was just so beautiful. It felt more like a museum, and we really enjoyed the 1 hour that we spent in there. Because remember, we just stopped in for a pit stop. It was just to use the bathroom. But we ended up really enjoying our little visit at the library. And then I used some of those asterisks that came in this month's kit, and I used the yellow ones. And what I was going to say for the enamel dots was this, what I used was the enamel accents from Ranger, and I just basically did my enamel dots directly on my pattern paper, and they're just going to dry there. And then I showed you to the right here, that's where I'm going to do my journaling. And what I did before I say that, I just went around to each little square and outlined it just so that they stand out one from the other. And what I did for all my New York pages, and I think this got cut out because this is like the 3rd time. I keep forgetting to check after 5 minutes. And when I think about it, it stopped recording. And what I did for my New York album, every place that we went to, what I do is I do at least one layout that is fact based. So my journaling is all about, when it was built, and almost the square footage, and how long it took to build it. And sometimes it even says, how much material almost it took, and all that stuff. And I just do the journaling about that because I thought that was some interesting facts that we can look back and look at, from all these places that we saw in New York. So this was one of the extra little enamel dots that I had done during that video. So I'm just going to glue it right there onto the heart. And the reason the other ones I did directly on the page, because I just didn't want to bother having to glue it down. But there I just want to do one little enamel dot. So I just put a little tiny bit of that Scotch quick dry adhesive, and I put it directly on the heart. So now I'm going to show you a few close-ups and then some still pictures. And basically I'm going to show you some still pictures from every single little area that I did, sort of a little cluster. So that first part had a bottle cap and a little heart and some washi tape. This one here has the cameras in the background, which adds a layer of sort of embellishments. Even though it's flat, it kind of adds interest anyway. And then those frames add a lot of dimension to the cluster. And then I added a couple things on top of that cluster. And here you can see too how shiny those bottle caps are. And this is the other little bit of stitching that I did with that template that came in this month's kit. So that's it. The page is done. Thanks for watching. Bye.